Hey my fellow Toons, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Steven, where we will be reviewing Steven Universe episodes. Today we will review Storm in the Room. So this week's episode starts off with Connie getting prepared to leave Beach City after her long time acting as Steven and wrecking the car wash, basically. So she's a bit worried because her mum hasn't showed up yet. And her mum's always on time. So Connie just does. Steven tells Connie that this is good. We can just have some fun together. So Connie says, "I don't want to really impose," but Steven insists. So they play games till it's dark. Okay, so now Connie's really worried since her mum's not answering her phone, and Steven doesn't really take anything into account. At that point in the episode, I thought she'd been stolen and taken to Pink Diamond Zoo, but that hasn't happened. So maybe 2 minutes later in the episode, roughly Connie's mum comes in, and it makes Steven a bit upset because he doesn't have a mum to really relate to, and Connie's really happy because she now knows nothing's happened to her mum. So they leave, and this is where the main part of the episode begins. Sorry for the noise outside. I think there was just a plane flying by.
No, I think another car crashed.
That's really not. That's not something to laugh about.
No, it's not.
Okay, so after Connie left, Steven gets really sad. He makes himself some pasta. No, he has a shower. He makes himself some pasta, and then he goes outside to eat his pasta. When he's outside, it starts raining. He's like, "Yay, it's a bit cool." And then suddenly it turns into a huge thunderstorm. Steven goes inside. There's a leaf in his pasta. He's drenched. He's sitting down like he's really sad. He looks like he just wants to give in to despair. And then he says, "I wish I could talk to my mom." His gem starts to glow, and then his temple door opens, and this is where the room part comes into play. So once he enters his room, he sees many things. He says, "Hi room, it's been a long time, blah blah blah, is that a new cloud or whatever?" And he says, "Room, I want to see mom. I know nothing you make's real, but I just want to see mom." And then Rose appears. So Steven and Rose then start. Oh yeah, the room created Rose, and then Steven and Rose started playing some games, like they played a video game, they played some catch, and then they just sat down and Steven lied on her lap. So Steven wanted to take a picture of him and Rose, but Rose wasn't there. Steven said, "You're not my mom, are you?" Rose said, "I'm not," and her expression went a bit weirder than they already had been. And Steven said, "No,
here's what I want you to be."
Okay, I stop there. You're not what I want it to be. So
No, you're just what I want you to be.
no, oh yeah, you're just what I want you to be. And Rose said, "Okay." And then Steven said, "You just left your mess behind. You poofed bismuth and bubbled her and put it inside Lion's mane. And you didn't tell Garnet or Pearl about it. And then you went and shattered Pink Diamond." Steven started getting really mad at Rose, and then the room got really cloudy and started raining. And that's where Storm comes into Storm in the Room. So tons of people expected Pink Diamond to be involved in this episode, but she was actually not involved at all, except for one sentence. Okay, but then Steven started getting really mad and shouted, "You just created me so you could just leave your mess behind, and so you wouldn't need to do anything." And Rose started flying up and seemed really mad. She came down and said, "But haven't you seen my videotape? I wanted you to exist. I wanted you to have life. That's not why it happened." And then Steven and Rose hugged for a bit. Then Rose disappeared. Steven left the room, and that was somehow just the correct timing for all of the Jens and Greg to come back and give some pizza to Steven. So that's this episode of Saturday Steven, and I'll see you next time. Bye.